A British man and a New Zealand woman have been shot dead in Western Libya. They were both teachers, according to a local security official. Their bodies were found near a major gas and oil complex 100 kilometers from the capital, Tripoli. Let's get some analysis on the situation in the country from Lawrence Freeman. He is editor of Executive Intelligence Review magazine. Sir, who do you think could be behind these killings?
Well, right now we don't know because Libya doesn't really exist as a country right now. It is made up of all kinds of militias and armed groups with very significant control by al-Qaeda. So it's unclear who at any point is doing what, except that we know the country is in a state of lawlessness right now.
Well, as you said, armed militias control these large territories of the country. What would it take, in your opinion, for the central government to reassert its authority?
Well, you'd have to have a total change in the outlook of the policy for Libya. I mean, don't forget, how was this condition created? It was created by President Obama, Susan Rice, now as National Security Advisor, Samantha Powers, now Ambassador, Tony Blair, the former Prime Minister. They were fanatical in overthrowing Gaddafi and carrying out regime change and trying to tell the world they were fighting al-Qaeda and bringing democracy. And in fact, now al-Qaeda runs the country, and there is no democracy, there's no country. So it would have to be a total reorientation that the Libyan people have a right to have a country and not be controlled by these outside forces, mainly al-Qaeda, which have been backed by the major Western powers up to this point.
Well, let's talk about the Libyan economy and how it affects the stability there. Eastern Libya declared its independence from the rest of the country. It's rich in oil reserves. What could that mean for the country's economy?
But look, you have a number of countries who are rich in oil reserves. I mean, look at Nigeria. I mean, look at now what's happening in South Sudan. Oil does not make a country rich. What makes a country wealthy is a policy for economic development and to raise the standard of living of its people and to provide water and food and energy for its people. Those policies were never even thought about for Libya. Obviously, the people overthrew Gaddafi, were looking to get oil money, to try to rape the country and loot it. But the end result has been that there is no country left. And now you're going to have fiefdoms and militias working to control certain areas and make their own wealth. And deals will be made with people like Tony Blair and others to make some fast money. But the country is going backward. It is not in a mode of development at all.
Well, Libya's longtime leader, Muammar Gaddafi, was ousted just over 2 years ago. So isn't it normal to expect things to get worse before they get better?
No, there was no reason for President Gaddafi to be removed. He was actually fighting a section of al-Qaeda in Benghazi. The point was that there are people who want regime change, just like we saw in Syria until the Russians prevented it, just like we've seen in other countries in Africa. They want regime change to carry out a policy of chaos and destruction and population reduction for Africans. And this is what was behind the policy. There's not going to be any improvement until this policy is thrown out and a new paradigm of development comes in for Africa and for the rest of the world.
All right, Lawrence Freeman, editor of the Executive Intelligence Review magazine, thank you for talking with us.